Okay, greetings a little bit, greetings a little bit, greetings a little bit. Okay, today I want to talk about autoimmune diseases. Yeah, because in the medical system, they say that autoimmune diseases cannot be repaired because they don't know what is causing the immune system to be overactive or overzealous. Okay, now lupus is an autoimmune disease. You have discoid lupus, you have SLE lupus. And they are what we call phospholipid syndrome, dealing with the cell membranes. So if you can go into the cell membranes and get rid of the PG2 and PGE3, you can repair lupus. Yeah. Autoimmune diseases can be coming from gum disease. It could come from sinusitis. It could come from UTI, because interstitial cystitis is an autoimmune disease. Or it can come from the digestive system. It can come from IBS or leaky gut, allergies. Yeah. It could come from genes and hormonal problems in women, because women seem to get more autoimmune diseases than men. So how do we go about repairing autoimmune diseases? Once we can know what caused the autoimmune disease, we can repair the autoimmune disease. So the medical system gives you steroids, prednisone. So that suppresses the immune system. So I'm going to teach you about plants that act as amphoterics. You always hear me use the word amphoterics. Amphoterics mean that herbs can either normalize the immune system if it's compromised, or they can normalize the immune system if it's overactive. I'm going to teach you about a few of them today. And we have them in products, in mushrooms. This is one of them that I created. I created this product here to help to normalize the immune system if the person have any kind of autoimmune disease. But you have to go on a program. You have to go on a program called the 30 mucus day less diet. Mucusless diet. Yeah? This was called immune balance. And some of the herbs we're going to mention is in this product called immune balance. So what immune balance do? It go in and it balances back the immune system. So I'm going to give you or teach you about a few herbs that is in the immune balance and show you how they work to normalize or regulate back the immune system so you can repair your autoimmune disease. See? That's what the medical system will learn yet. God is great. So the first herb we're going to talk about is a plant called hanquin. And we're going to talk a little bit about turmeric. We're going to talk about reishi mushroom, Agandaderma. We're going to talk about unprocessed Romania, unprocessed, not the cooked. The uncooked Romania we're going to talk about, because that can also deal with hepatitis. And we're going to talk about another herb called ashwagandha, which we talked about before. But we're going to talk about a lot of them, because licorice, there is linden flower. There's a lot of them that works as amphoterics, okay? So the first one we're going to talk about is hanquin. And we're going to talk about hanquin and the other plants, what they do as brothers and sisters, or like a formula to help to regulate the immune system. Right? So hanquin and others, and the other plants we're going to mention. Yeah? The benefits. Hanquin. Right here. Hanquin normalizes immune function. We can put this on the side so we could get some more space. Hanquin normalizes the immune system. And it also is very important for an underactive or an overactive immune system. Hanquin. But all the herbs in this formula here, that's what they do together. So hanquin and the other plants in this formula normalizes the immune function. If the immune system is over or underactive, which can be immune depletion, autoimmune diseases, or atopic allergies, this herb and others, they nourish and strengthen the immune system, helping the immune system to regain its normal self-regulating function. That's what they do. Yeah? What these herbs do together is they reduce inflammatory cytokines. We talked about cytokines before. Your macrophages can create cytokine storm from if you have cancer, and the macrophages that are being fooled by the cancer cells, they can also increase your creator cytokine storm inflammation, which can increase the function of your Th2 lymphocyte, which can cause your cancer to grow by dropping the Th1 lymphocyte. We talked about that before. But these herbs, they reduce inflammatory cytokines we call interleukins, interleukin 1, 2, 6, 12, and the PGE2 prostaglandins, and they are produced in the cell membranes. Call them EFAs, essential fatty acids. So if you are producing lots of PGE2 and PGE3 prostaglandins, you're going to get a cytokine storm and you're going to get inflammation. That's where you get RA, rheumatoid arthritis. That's where you get lupus, discoid, and SLE lupus, right? So these herbs together, they reduce inflammatory cytokines called interleukins and the PGE2 prostaglandins that cause you to have inflammation and bad circulation. These herbs modify inflammation, and the results is what? Immune regulation. So they regulate back the immune system. Some research on these plants, I'm going to say some research, say they may inhibit immune complex deposition. These herbs also together inhibit histamine release while stabilizing the mast cells, which can cause you to get inflammation and which can downregulate an allergic response. That's how these herbs work together. Yeah? So now we're going to go one by one, and we're going to look at how these herbs work in sync, but they have more usage more than being an anti-inflammatory plant. Yeah? So that's how these herbs work together to fight any immune disease that you have in terms of lupus, psoriasis, scleroderma, muscular dystrophy, multiple sclerosis, Sjögren's syndrome, and others. Yeah? To name a few. Right? Turmeric. In human and animal studies that's inside this formula, what they do? They help relieve rheumatoid arthritis symptoms, psoriasis, which is a skin disorder, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and multiple sclerosis. And the studies are what? Bright 2007. Hanquin clears damp heat. We call it inflammation in Chinese medicine. And in animal studies, Hanquin also inhibits COX-2 inhibitor, NK kappa B, TNF, tumor necrosis factor, A, and inflammatory interleukins. Studies, KIM-ETAL 2009 studies. And the unprocessed Romania also remove heat, but also help to build the spleen and also help the kidney to function better. Yeah? Especially if you have lupus and the damage in your kidney. So let's look at some of these herbs individually and what they do. Individually. Yeah? Although they have more than one function. This one is turmeric, right there. Benefits of this herb. It is a powerful anti-inflammatory for rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, and also bursitis. This herb called turmeric, which a lot of people tell you all is not man-made, garbage, it's research. It's good for ulcerative colitis. It is good for Crohn's disease. If you can mix this herb with sarsaparilla, catnip, chamomile, and another herb called agrimony, is very important to use for ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease, which are bowel disorders. This herb called turmeric also help you to repair gastritis, gastric ulcers, which can lead to stomach cancer. Gastritis and gastric ulcers can lead to stomach cancer. This herb called turmeric lowers your blood pressure. So I have it in my heart formula. And if your heart is enlarged, it helps to fix the heart. If you have heart failure, you can put astragalus, you can put danqui with this herb for what we call CHF, congestive heart failure. But it lowers blood pressure. This herb called turmeric reduces LDL cholesterol, so-called cholesterol, the so-called bad one. Although it is not a cholesterol, it is what we call a protein that carries cholesterol to the arteries. This herb lowers or reduces your so-called bad cholesterol. Turmeric does that. Turmeric also reduces oxidative damage to the liver and the blood vessels and even the eyes. When you have cataracts, when you have glaucoma, when you have retinitis pigmentosa, when you have macular degeneration, when you have night blindness, and when you have what? Eye troubles. It reduces oxidative damage to the liver, blood vessels, and the eyes. Coumarin in this plant, in studies, was found to down-regulate over 60 pro-cancer cell signaling pathways. I'm going to repeat one more time. Coumarin, and Dr. Mitchell Gaynor he used this plant a lot in his treatment for cancer, and he's an oncologist. Coumarin in this formula, or this plant called turmeric, in studies, this plant was found to down-regulate over 60 pro-cancer cell stagnation, signaling pathways, and oncogenes. And this herb, because of the curcumin, compound, it can also inhibit bowel cancer. It can protect the liver from viral infection. It can protect your liver, I'm going to say it again, from viral or chemical-induced liver damage while enhancing hepatic glutathione levels while promoting phase 2 liver detoxification, and that is the program we're on right now. This herb right here, this one right here called turmeric, it does a lot of things. Keep the liver healthy. Let's go to the next one. Reishi, let's go to Romania. Romania unprocessed, not processed, unprocessed one. Good for the skin too, good for your liver. It clears heat and cools the blood. It inhibits autoimmune response when you have any kind of autoimmune disease. It is used for eczema, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, Sjögren's syndrome, and the regular osteoarthritis. And it helps to what? To make the blood, because it helps to work on the spleen. But it also works on your liver because it's unprocessed. So we put it in a mixture for any autoimmune disease. Yeah, next one. This one is called reishi or Ganoderma. What you call red Ganoderma. Benefits. This herb is very significant because it is what we call an immune regulator for immune deficiency, cancer, AIDS, chronic fatigue syndrome, lupus, RA, Crohn's disease, hyperimmune disease, like what? Allergies. These herbs. Studies. Right? In clinical trials, I'm going to use the word clinical trial because a lot of these nurses and doctors want to hear clinical trials. In clinical trials, reishi inhibits development of colorectal adenomas and what? OKAETAL 2010 research. It reduced symptoms in people with UTI, especially in men. And it's good for what? Hypocholesterolemia. This herb right here. Go to the next one. Ashwagandha. We talked about that the other day. Benefits. Clinical adaptogen. Make you adapt to stress or the stressful environment that you're living in. It's a nervine. We use this herb to reduce stress and anxiety while stimulating the sex drive. Yeah. It is also anti-inflammatory. It is good for iron deficiency, anemia, lupus, and other autoimmune diseases. This one right here. It's called ashwagandha. See right here. Hanquin, what we call Chinese skullcap. Yeah? Excess heat. So this can be used for women who go through menopause. Yeah? So if you have excess heat, like you have when you have high blood pressure, and you have trouble in the heart, you have congestive heart failure, excess heat, yang principle. This herb will what? Get rid of excess heat symptoms like hypertension, fevers, uterine bleeding. If you can mix this herb with what? Honeysuckle. If you can mix it with what? Shepherd's purse. If you can mix it with what? Chickweed. And what? Witch hazel. It's good for uterine bleeding if you could mix it with other plants also. Hypertension, fevers, uterine bleeding, shingles, herpes. If you can mix it with what? Isatis. And autoimmune diseases, hives, lupus. And this herb is very significant for what? Look right here. It's very significant for what? Hepatitis B and C and A. If you can mix it with what? With milk thistle, the same turmeric right here, isatis, and another herb, another adaptogen called cassandra berries. Yeah? So if you have any kind of autoimmune disease, yeah, and you want to get rid of this autoimmune disease, you have to go on what we call a 30-day mucusless diet using these plants. Yeah, and then you're gonna see, yeah, how herbs work. You know, a lot of people come and say they're herbalists and they just jump in and say, drink this herb and drink that herb. You have to know the condition of the person. You have to know the energy of the plant. You have to know the energy of the person too. You see what I'm saying? So that you know the plant could work with the energy of that individual. You have to know the person have a damp condition, hot condition, dry condition, cold condition. So we have to know what herbs to use for these conditions. You see? So we use plants just like the medical system. So once we can look at the autoimmune disease that you have, and we can use these herbs as immune regulators or amphoterics to either normalize the immune system if it is depressed or depleted, or bring it back in balance if it's overactive. And you can go and repair your lupus. You can go and repair your muscular dystrophy, your scleroderma, your myasthenia gravis, that is he can't fix. But he wasn't taught about these things that God put on earth. God is the ultimate healer of all things. So you have information. The next one we're going to talk about for what we're going to talk about is for ADHD. And if your child have autism, we're going to give you some plants that you can look up and give it to your child, and we'll see your child going to start talking again. Give thanks and praise to the Most High. The website is Patrick Delves, holistichealing.com. The number is 631-530-2329. And don't forget, if this video showed up on another page without the blue dot, it is a fake page of me. Don't send money to no one. Okay? Don't forget, my page have a blue dot, the right page. If this video showed up on any other page on Facebook beside the page with the blue dot, it is a fake page. Blessed love. Give thanks and praise to the Most High. Blessings.